So I'm at the house. You should remember, to make this work like I want it to work, I have to have another filter to replace the lubricator. This whole set is called a UMFRL filter regulator lubricator -20, and then the individual numbers are as you see. You see it's 150 psi. I searched everywhere, including England and Japan and Germany. I haven't heard back from Japan and Germany yet. I don't expect to get much luck. But so what I did find was one new set of what's known as a UM filter regulator lubricator -15. And what the only difference is they drill and tap them for 3/4 inch in this one, and it's actually listed as a 3/4 or 1/2. This came with it. So you get reducers if you want it 1/2 inch, and if you want it 3/4, then you just put your fitting in there. It'll be 1/2 inch anyway, but they do it exactly like they do these. They do the same thing. They cast them. When they're doing the machine work, they drill and tap them. So these come as small as 3/4, but are identical, same parts. And if you get them, you can tap them 1.5 inch like the biggest one. So, well, I mean, some people can. I don't know if everybody can, but I certainly can. But anyway, so I found another one of these brand new for $50 plus $38 shipping, so for like a little under $100. It's on its way. Will I drill and tap it to a 3/4? Of course I will. So it won't have the stickers anyway, and it'll be painted some other color, but you can be sure when it gets here I'll disassemble it and drill it and tap it to 3/4, because that's just how I am. I have to do it. I don't have any choice. I'm insane. And they also make a set like this small. But since I'm making this match those anyway, that's not necessary. Oh, and when I ordered the set, you have the individual numbers here. But when I ordered the UMARF or FRL, yeah, FRL, filter regulator lubricator. When I ordered the 15 size, it said they had one, so I said, man, I better get rid of this thing or I'm just going to be screwed. So then I started figuring out what the numbers meant, and that's how I knew what they had done. And then, so I have that one on the way. So while another set of this 20 is nowhere to be found, and not even this one filter, they actually found out they have 30. They sent me a message. They have 30 of the 15 series. So, and the only difference is a 1/2 inch hole, and you got to be moving a hell of a lot of air to move for a 3/4 inch hole. So, again, the only reason I'll make mine 3/4 is so it matches all the others. I'm real weird about stuff like that, but I don't sleep at nights if I don't. But, so that's that situation. It is on the way, and that's all problem solved. Now, I might make them an offer to buy all the rest of them they have and flip them, because they don't advertise them and stuff. They're companies that just buy a bunch of old stock. They buy them, they go to a plant, they buy them all out of everything they have, and then sell it for dirt cheap. So these aren't $50. They weren't $50 units when they were new. My neighbors are going wild over there. Anyway, so there's the other part I need on this end. These are the side panels. And apparently, South Koreans are incredibly nearsighted, because they certainly don't want to make a mistake. You mix up the right hand and left hand. Really bad. So, if I have an extraordinary day, I'll get this done, and the tensioner is back on the Volkswagen. But I'll be real happy just getting this done. I got up really early. a phone call, a little briefing session, how things are going in Nigeria and Venezuela, and they're both going straight to hell. So, with the quickness, we'll see how all that turns out. But that's not my concern today. Today, is getting my wife's truck back together, and hopefully the Volkswagen, so I can get both of them done and move on with the pathetic existence that I call my life. Oh yeah, I meant to add that on this set, or these sets, the maximum pressure is the same, burst pressure is the same, and the flow only changes because they drill and tap them for a bigger size, but they charge you more money. So you can buy this set 1.5 inches all the way down to 3/4, and that 3/4 set will cost you substantially less than this set, simply because the holes on each side of every one of those are 1.5 inches instead of 3/4. Oh, if you wanted to save money, you could just drill and tap 6 locations, and then you would have 1.5 inch set. But it will be a different part number. And so, those little games people play. Anyhow, this thing still kills me. Put that in your pocket. That's the 38 special of FRLs. Anyway, we'll get on this. That was the only thing that had the potential to really screw me, was if those wouldn't come out without taking that front end off. They said it was 4 hours of labor, $800 to pull that thing off, and a little strip that runs under. I had less than an hour to take it all off there. And then these, of course, they're busted, and I didn't have them taken apart till today when we have the new ones, but they're pulling these cars apart, and you're just taking a huge risk. If you don't have to take it off there, you shouldn't, because there's urethane, and there's tabs in here that line it all up, and they're kind of like snap in there. They snap in easy, they don't snap out the same way. They scratch the paint on it, and make all kinds of big mistakes. So, you'd be an absolute fool to take that front end off there. This whole thing, changing both of them out, is going to take me like 20 minutes. So, that's how these people do you. Bullshit. Well, there it is. Took around 2 hours altogether. It's quite fun. Half the stuff was torn off last time, so that helped. But it's good as new.